All right, what's good, guys? Today is Saturday. Just wanted to go over like a weekly trade recap, just do some back testing with you guys and all that kind of stuff. Seen some pretty good price action throughout this week. Honestly, this is if you're looking at this is the entire week. I've seen some pretty good price action. I've caught some decent moves. A lot of people would disagree with me, saying that price action has not been good, but personally, I think that this is pretty much how summertime price action was. Like we're getting back to like that A+ setups. We're looking pretty good. We're sweeping a bunch of liquidity and all that kind of stuff. So pretty decent price action. Had some nice trades throughout the week. So I'm gonna be going over that. Going over starting off with Monday. As you can see, we are basically sweeping all of this resting liquidity right here. If you look at the 1 hour time frame, you see that we have this bearish inverse fair value gap right here. So we continue down and then retrace back into this bearish fair value gap. And before market open, that's a very good indication that we're going to continue even lower. So sure enough, we come back into it, sweep another of these highs right here. And I believe we even could create an SMT on ES over here. Um, find some kind of downside move. So as we can see right here, we have this bearish 1 minute fair value gap. You retrace back into it, boom, take it off that. You can have your stops maybe above at the 50% mark of that. Continuing lower, I would like to target this low right here, as you can see right here. It's a perfect resting low. Obviously, taking partials beforehand, taking partials up here within this, I believe it's a 1 hour fair value gap. Yep, perfect. At the entrance of the 1 hour, and then, maybe half of it at the end, whatever, however you want to do it. Personally, that's just how I would do it. Taking the whole thing down. And just like that, you're pretty much done for the day. If you wanted to take another trade throughout that day, use another opportunity. You could see that we make equal lows. Actually, I think we just sweep them. We sweep these lows. Yep, we sweep these lows. If you wanted to take a turtle soup with an extra confluence right here, we can see that we have this 1 minute fair value gap, inverse fair value gap, I should say. We have this downside fair value gap right here. Boom. Want to take it up here. This is more of a scalp trade, but still worked out great. Right here, you want to target these highs. It takes a little bit of time, but eventually it does come in and smack your take profit. Super easy, simple day. I caught this move. I only actually took it to this low right here, and I obviously regret closing my position. I could have made a lot more money, and um, it's whatever. I'm not really mad about it, but I still got that win, so pretty cool. Then we saw this, another good opportunity. Moving on, let's see if you can find another opportunity throughout this day. You got this 1 minute fair value gap right here. If you want, or I should say 3 minute fair value gap right here. If you want to retrace back into it, boom, take it off that wick right there. Boom, take it to potentially these lows right here as like just a little scalp trade. Having your stops above this high right here, that's a pretty good scalp trade. Nice 1 to 1.7 trade, not bad at all. Perfect entry, just like that. I'm gonna move on to Tuesday. Let's see what we can find here. So obviously, pre-market we come above, sweep some of these highs right here. Market opens, we come up even higher, sweep these highs right here. Boom. I believe we are also in a 15-minute fair value gap. We're just going to continue bring us lower. Sure enough, yes we are. As you can see right here, we are in this 15-minute bearish fair value gap. We retrace price into it as market opens. Retrace price back into it. Let's see. So this one, a little bit tricky because I actually remember taking this. I took a loss right here because okay, this was my mistake. I took a very shitty, mistakable trade. I basically switched my bias for no reason whatsoever. Obviously, market opens, and we came up, and my original bias was that we're going to continue lower, be bearish, targeting lows and all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, for some reason, when we got to this point right here, we retraced price back into this equilibrium. For some reason, I just completely forgot about my daily bias, and I took a long right in this area over here, and I targeted these highs, and sure enough, I ended up losing the trade. Simple mistake. I mean, I wish I never took it. It was just pure stupidity, but it is what it is. Obviously, I'm not going to be perfect. We created an SMT right here on ES and NQ. Boom, just like this. And then we want to see some kind of retracement as a lower time frame confluence. Lower time frame confluence. Sorry about that. You have this 1 minute fair value gap. Boom, boom. Anywhere within this fair value gap, retracement back into here. If you want to have your stops above the highs, that works perfectly. And then at this point, you could take it to these lows, these lows, these lows. Continue it even lower as runners with a trailing stop loss. Boom, just like that. Worked out perfectly. I fucked up on this trade because my original take profit was going to be at these lows, and sure enough, I took the wrong trade. I just decided to take a long for some reason. I don't really know what. It was pretty much in the same area right here. So we had this. We had this equilibrium right here, and then we saw this 1 minute fair value gap right here, and I saw price retrace back into it, and then I took it off that. For some reason, I don't know. It was just pure stupidity. I wish I never did it. It was just a dumb mistake. I learned from it, and I will make sure that this never happens to me again. I won't make the same mistake whatsoever ever again. So pretty good trade. If you had maybe about 5 or 6 contracts on this one, take your partials, maybe at this low right here, boom. Partials right here. Partials down here. Maybe somewhere within this range right here. Boom. And then your final take profit all the way down here. Boom, just like that. Okay, well, you know what I mean. All the way down here. Just like that. That's another perfect trade. Obviously combining it with a higher time frame confluence. So we have a 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame. We have this bearish fair value gap that we retrace back into during pre-market. Where is it? Right here. Retrace back into it. And then we have a lower time frame confluence, creating a bearish SMT as well, giving us a third confluence. And then there you go, just like that. So 3 confluences, super easy trade. On to the next day, we're going to move on to Wednesday. Wednesday was a little bit trickier, and I did take a loss on it, only because, as you could see, we had a huge continuation day, sweeping above all these highs. So what I originally wanted to see was either we target these highs right here as buy side liquidity, or we're going to target these lows right here as sell side liquidity and then reverse. Unfortunately, what we did see ended up happening is we never actually swept any kind of liquidity. What we ended up happening is what liquidity run. So basically what that means is that obviously during pre-market or post-market, I should say, from the trading day of Tuesday, this isn't actually post-market. It's still market open. But we saw that we swept all of these major lows right here, filling some kind of fair value gap. I'm sure if you look at the 4-hour time frame, you could see some kind of 4-hour fair value gap. Yeah, boom, just like that. We have a 4-hour fair value gap from fucking December 4th. All right. Then continuing higher to push price past these highs. Excuse me, and then even higher. So at that point, what I originally wanted to see was just to sweep these lows right here, continue higher to take out these highs, and then I would have been done for the day. What ended up happening is pre-market. I made my analysis at 7 a.m. because I usually wake up at like 6:30, 6:40, 7 a.m. And this day I ended up making it exactly at 7. So I was looking at it pretty much like in this area right here. 20 minutes later, if I come out, we continue higher, disrespecting my complete bias, and then taking out these highs. At this point, what I wanted to see was some kind of confluence to the downside. I didn't end up taking this trade, but yeah, I don't think I took this trade whatsoever. I'd have to look back at my YouTube video, but I do not think I took this trade. Really, what I could have seen if I knew we're gonna have a continuation and a liquidity run, taking it off this 1 minute fair value gap as the best form of confluence right here. 1 minute fair value gap. If you wanted to take it all the way down here, boom, wrong direction. 1 minute fair value gap, boom. Having your stops below some of these lows right here. Kind of a tricky trade because you don't really have forms of liquidity. I mean, you have this high right here that we targeted and ended up slapping. So if you took fucking longs right there, you're golden after that. You are looking at a pretty penny right there. So yeah, continuing on, we could see that we just continued higher and higher and higher. Didn't really see anything good. I mean, you definitely could have caught some kind of small fair value gap as a scalp trade. Boom. For example, this one right here, 1 minute fair value gap. Had your stops below these lows, high at these high, or take profit at these highs right here. Boom, just like that. Nice and easy trade, simple trade. Continuing on to the next day, Thursday, we had news come out at 7:30. I can't remember exactly what day what news came out on Wednesday or Thursday. Jeez. Super easy trade. If you guys know what the power of three is, I explained it in one of my videos before. I probably will make a full description video, like an educational video on it. It's basically 3 simple steps: accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. So basically, if you think about it, accumulation. So what is accumulation? So you're basically just bouncing around within an area, basically just doing this. Manipulation is going to break these lows, manipulate this accumulation. So you're basically sweeping all of these lows right here and then continuing higher just like that. So this form right here. This is the accumulation phase right here. So that's accumulation. All right, and then you see this right here coming below these lows. This is the manipulation phase. Text box. Fuck. Excuse me. Hold on. Manipulation. I don't know if I spelled that right. Coming below these lows, sweeping them, and then continuing higher. And then this is the distribution phase right here. Boom, boom. Super easy, perfect trade. That's basically just gives you confirmation of, we're sweeping these lows and then we're just continuing higher. So I'm going to go over that, what happened on Thursday. So as you can see right here, we are basically chopping from 7:36 after news up until a little bit after market open. So as you can see, chopping around. This is the accumulation phase. So this is the accumulation phase. Manipulation, we come below these lows, manipulate these lows, taking them out, sweeping them, and then continuing higher to target these data highs. Potentially sometimes even taking out these highs. If you wanted to swing this trade with a lower stop loss, you honestly could have. Overnight market that would have printed. Like if you take a look on the 5-minute time frame, let's just say if you took the longs right here, boom, at the manipulation, stops somewhere below these lows, and then if you want to have your highs, maybe, yeah, boom, this would have worked out great. That would have been a phenomenal trade. Like obviously we had this is a swing. This would have been like a swing trade, but this would have been a nice looking trade. So if you're a swing trader, this would have been a perfect trade. Honestly, I low-key regret not doing that because that would have been a great trade. I ended up missing this trade because of what I wanted to see is a lower time frame confluence to combine with that power of 3. And what I think I'm going to start doing is if I see a power of 3 trade, I'm not going to combine it with a lower time frame confluence. So what I originally wanted to see was seeing this fair value gap being formed. I wanted to see price retrace back into it. So sure enough, we come up. We never retrace back into it. So what I wanted to see is price come up and then retrace and then continue higher. But as you can see a little bit later on, we actually come back into this fair value gap, just like a little bit. But if you look at the 5-minute time frame, it looks even a little bit even better. This whole fair value gap right here, we retrace back into it, taking out these highs. This would have been a solid trade. Playing out with the power of 3 using a 5-minute time frame or 5-minute fair value gap, boom, this would have been a phenomenal trade. I was already off the computer at this point. But yeah, so that would have been a decent trade right there. Going back on the 1-minute time frame. Yeah, so I low-key wish I took this trade. Both of these trades, I ended up missing it because of this. Definitely going to be backtesting it, reviewing it, trying to find more power 3 trades. just so I could use more of them within my trading strategy. I mean, I always use power of three. It's just that we've usually always had a retracement on a lower time frame, and I just low key wish I saw something like that, but unfortunately we didn't. Either way, coming into Friday, we have a new day opening gap. So N dog. You guys know what N dog is? Basically, new day opening gap. Price wants to N dogs are basically like magnets. So Price usually always wants to retrace back into it no matter what. Obviously, we could see that we retrace back into it and then we were rejected off of it, continuing higher. Well, this is still a valid in dog because we never invalidated it. We never disrespected it or anything like that. So when I was perceiving the market on Friday, which is yesterday, I wanted to see a sweep of highs. So we ended up seeing a sweep of all of these highs right here during pre-market. So we swap all of these highs. If you go back on the 1 minute time frame, we sweep all these highs. And then I want to see some kind of retracement on a lower time frame to give me confluence that we're going to continue lower. So this, I didn't really care about this because I wanted to see some kind of confluence that we're going to continue bearish. So what I looked out for was some kind of either like a 1 minute, anything in between the 1 minute to a 5 minute time frame. There really wasn't anything decent. I wanted to catch it somewhere at these highs, but unfortunately we didn't. What I did end up seeing is that we had this 1 minute fair value or 1 to 2 minute fair value gap. We retraced back into it. If let's just say, for example, if we took it off here, boom, stops above these highs somewhere over here, taking the take profit all the way down to the end dog. That would have been a perfect trade. 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio, great trade. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I mean, let's see what else happened after that. You could have just kept on taking scalp trades, which are pretty good too. There was a decent scalp right here if you wanted to take this. This was a 1 minute time frame. Fair value gap stops below these lows right here. Take profit at this entrance to the fair value gap. Boom, that's a nice one-to-one risk to reward. I'm sure this is an SMT right here. There, let me get rid of this for you guys so it's easier to see. This is an SMT. Boom, boom. If you look at ES, we take out these lows right here. Actually, no, we didn't. Oh, we technically we did because we came below and swept them. So yeah, I mean that was a good SMT trade. Combine it with some kind of lower time frame fair value gap. Boom, right here, stops below these lows. Take it all the way up here. Boom. So yeah, that's a pretty good trade as well. That would have looked great. That's pretty much all I have for you guys. I think I'm gonna end up making a video on explaining how the Power 3 works, finding more examples within the market and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you have a good weekend. Stay busy, stay productive. Don't let your weekend. Don't let the. Oh, fuck, I fucked it up. Don't let the weekend be your weekend. So think about that one. I'll see you guys.